Shell Malaysia, a subsidiary of Royal Dutch Shell, is a leading integrated energy company with a rich history dating back to the early 20th century. The company engages in exploration, production, distribution, and marketing of oil and gas, playing a pivotal role in Malaysia's energy security and economic development. Shell Malaysia has demonstrated its commitment to sustainability and innovation, embracing cleaner energy solutions, investing in renewable energy research, and undertaking community development projects. With over 130 years of presence in Malaysia, Shell has continuously pushed the boundaries of innovation, discovering the nation's first onshore oil and venturing into deep-water exploration. Its extensive retail network fuels the journeys of millions of Malaysians, while its pioneering fuel and lubricant products have set industry benchmarks. Shell Malaysia remains a steadfast contributor to Malaysia's economic growth, having invested over RM40 billion since 2000 and paid over RM16 billion in taxes in 2022. Shell Global openly promotes and supports LGBT individuals as part of its diversity and inclusion policy. However, Shell Malaysia must adapt this approach to align with local cultural norms in Malaysia. Shell Malaysia is facing several issues related to LGBT employees. LGBT employees are facing discrimination and bias in the workplace, including verbal harassment, physical harassment, workplace exclusion, and microaggressions. These include things like asking someone if they are really a man or a woman, or telling someone that they don't look gay. Discrimination and bias make it difficult for LGBT employees to feel safe and respected at work. It also leads to feelings of anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem.
Shell Malaysia's support for LGBT employees sparked controversy on social media, with some calling for a boycott of the company. A Facebook user came across its workplace policy that supported its LGBT employees. This revelation sparked controversy, prompting a debate among netizens on whether companies should be boycotted due to their inclusive stances. Many individuals expressed their disapproval, aligning with the Facebook user's call for a boycott, and the hashtag #BoycottShell began trending. Shell Malaysia is addressing the lack of representation of LGBT individuals in leadership positions and in the workforce. This lack of representation can have several negative consequences. When LGBT individuals are not visible in leadership positions, it can make them feel like they don't belong and that their experiences are not valued. This leads to feelings of isolation and exclusion among LGBT employees in Shell Malaysia. Shell Malaysia is facing the lack of understanding of LGBT issues among its employees. This lack of understanding leads to offensive language, jokes, and misunderstandings, which can damage relationships and make it difficult to work together effectively. In some cases, it can also lead to discrimination and harassment.
Shell Global has firmly established diversity, equity, and inclusion as strategic priorities. The company acknowledges the diverse nature of its global workforce and the different markets in which it operates, creating a framework adaptable to local contexts and needs. This approach recognizes that a one-size-fits-all strategy is not the silver bullet in a world brimming with cultural and societal differences. A prime example is Shell Malaysia's introduction of the Diversity and Inclusion Initiative. This move has led to improved work-life balance, increased employee satisfaction, and a higher percentage of women in managerial roles. The initiative focuses on communication, education, recruitment, development, and mentoring, fostering a truly supportive and inclusive work environment. At a macro level, Shell promotes equality and creates an environment where people feel included regardless of their background. This inclusion reaches beyond the realm of gender, race, and ethnicity, extending to the LGBT+ community and enabling people with disabilities. It's a holistic approach that sees diversity as a strength, not a challenge. Communication strategies play a crucial role in this endeavor. Shell believes in fostering transparent and consistent messaging, actively listening, and inquiring about diverse aspects. The company utilizes a variety of internal and external communication platforms such as the intranet, newsletters, emails, and town hall meetings to regularly update employees on DEI goals, initiatives, and progress. Timely response to issues or crises is another key aspect of Shell's strategy. The organization is committed to maintaining its integrity, and this includes upholding its commitment to DEI principles. When challenges arise, Shell responds promptly and effectively, ensuring the continuity of its inclusive culture. So what are the main points to take away from this exploration of Shell's diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts? Firstly, a company's DEI strategy must be adaptable to the local context and needs. Secondly, establishing a solid framework for diversity, equity, and inclusion is crucial. Thirdly, the strategy must operate at a macro-organizational level, promoting equality and inclusion regardless of background. Lastly, effective communication strategies and timely responses to crises are vital to maintaining integrity and commitment to DEI principles. Shell's approach to diversity, equity, and inclusion demonstrates that these principles are not just a box-ticking exercise. They are integral to the fabric of the organization, contributing to a healthier, happier, and more productive workforce. Diversity, equity, and inclusion have become the cornerstones of modern businesses, and Shell's efforts serve as a shining example of their potential.
Why does diversity and inclusion matter in the workplace? Why is it essential to have a variety of voices, backgrounds, and perspectives in the office? Today we delve into these questions, using the case of Shell Malaysia as an illustration of how diversity and inclusion theories come into play. Shell Malaysia, a forward-thinking company, has taken proactive measures to address these questions. It starts with understanding and applying theories such as Hofstede's cultural dimensions. This theory, consisting of 6 dimensions: power distance, individualism versus collectivism, masculinity versus femininity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term versus short-term orientation, and indulgence versus restraint, allows companies to better understand the cultural values of their workforce. In Malaysia, for example, there is a high score in power distance, implying a society that accepts hierarchical structures. Shell Malaysia, acknowledging this, has strategically crafted its diversity and inclusion policies to respect these social hierarchies. Another theory that Shell Malaysia employs is Hall's cultural factors. This theory emphasizes the role of context, time, and space in communication. It provides insights into how individuals from different cultural backgrounds perceive and engage with communication. Understanding the impact of these cultural dimensions on communication styles and strategies is crucial for Shell Global and Shell Malaysia in their pursuit of diversity and inclusion. In wrapping up, it becomes clear that intercultural theories provide a roadmap for multinational corporations like Shell. They help navigate the intricate task of implementing diversity and inclusion policies across varying cultural contexts. It is a delicate balance between the global and the local, requiring companies to understand, respect, and adapt to the cultural norms of the societies they operate in. Only then can diversity and inclusion truly thrive in the global business landscape. Shell Malaysia's initiatives serve as a powerful testament to the potential of women in leadership roles. They underscore the fact that with the right support and opportunities, women can and indeed excel in leadership positions. An inclusive workplace is not just a nice-to-have, it is a must-have in our increasingly globalized and interconnected world. A world where diversity is not just respected but celebrated. A world where everyone has a seat at the table.